Hey, what's up? Combat Corner, punches and kicks and other ill shit. You know what I'm talking about. Got my main man, Coach Cush, on my right. My main man, Coach Joe Nichols, on the left. So last month, I don't know if you noticed, if you do follow the Combat Corner, punches and kicks, I focused on the elbows a lot last month. This month, I'm gonna get ill with some other shit, the knees. So we're gonna be working the knees this month, and we're gonna work some different variations. Like I said, I wanna thank Combat Corner for their commitment to the equipment here. And I'm real proud to say I'm one of their technical advisors. I test a lot of their equipment. If you're a Muay Thai aficionado or top level striker, if you haven't checked out the HMIT handmade in Thailand gear, you're missing out dearly. It's incredible gear, incredible equipment, and I personally recommend it. That being said, we're talking about some Thai boxing techniques, kickboxing, and sometimes used in MMA. When I had the pleasure of being on the Joe Rogan podcast, I talked about this guy. It was Bogdan the Flying Axe Stoica from Romania. He fights in Glory, but he also fights in some real fun fights in Romania. Some good shows there, and the combat show there. It's a really good show for kickboxing, but he has some fun knee knockouts. So I'm going to do a show, a variation that he's caught a few people with, and as well, Anthony Pettis used this. He caught Benson Henderson pretty good. If you watch the replay actually on the WEC broadcast, there's a piece of Benson's hair that flies off his head when Anthony caught him with the knee. That being said, I'll do it with Joe. So how Bogdan caught his opponent with this is, here's a little key. When you want to get good with your knees, don't start low. It's hard to get up in the air. By being a little lighter on your feet, it's going to be easier. What Bogdan did as his opponent was moving in, he just jumped and switched into it. So all you're doing is jumping and switching in the air and driving this knee into it. So again, like I said, being light on my feet, I jump up, switch my legs in the air, and what I'll do, I'll brace out with my hands to almost stop the flow of Joe coming into me. So as he comes at me, boom, I push that head to stop it, and with the knee. The way Anthony Pettis did it, Benson was shooting, he caught him with it, and automatically he sprawled off of it. I'll show you it from this angle. Like I said, as he's coming at me, I'm light on my feet. Bang! I catch him just so you jump up, switch your feet, and hit them as they're coming in. A little key, don't tighten your arms. Switch your arms in the air. Light on your feet, boom, switch, and like I said, drive that knee into him and point your toes. So as he comes at me, boom, I catch him with that. And I land right back in my stance. So that's our knee, and Noel, the fat man, 411, he's gonna make sure that we blend in that technique. He'll see it and show it too. So Stoica landing that knee, and we can't use the UFC footage. Uncle Dana, we don't want to steal your footage, brother. UFC 196, gonna be crazy. Conor McGregor fighting at 170 versus Nate Diaz with some of that ninja shit. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Actually, I was pretty connected to this fight. Anthony Pettis, our teammate, friend, brother from another mother, he was in the running for the Conor McGregor fight. The reason why I think he chose Nate Diaz, why do you think?
I was training for a lefty.
Exactly. See, that's striking 101. They didn't want to switch up their preparation. That being said, we'll talk about that fight in a second. That's just the beginning of the craziness. First and foremost, Tom Lawler, the wild man, versus our fellow Combat Corner athlete, and he started here his pro debut. Corey Anderson moved on to New Jersey to train. We just didn't have a lot of big guys here, so we're still very friendly with Corey, and we still have him in a fond place in our heart. That being said, I think that Corey Anderson is the new young face of the division. I think Tom Lawler's a hell of a fighter, been around a long time. But speaking of time, it's Corey Anderson's time, and he's going to take this fight via decision. What do you think, Coach?
I think Corey's going to, the volume of his strikes, he's going to score a lot of points, and he's going to use his wrestling. There's some real good ground and pound, and because his wrestling is very good. So I think he's going to control the action on his feet, stand or takedowns, and win the decision also.
Excellent. What do you think, Coach Joe?
Same thing. His wrestling is really good. He's got a lot of heart too. If you see some of his fights.
Yeah, when he trained with us, man, that's what made things special. Actually, Ben Askren referred us to us, and That's a one thing. Corey Anderson has that wrestling work ethic. Not that Tom Lawler doesn't, but Corey's got a whole nother. He has a saying. Most people are beasting 24/7. Corey rocks at 25/8. So Corey Anderson in that one for our predictions. Another interesting fight: Latifi versus Gian Vellante. I love all the fighters from Matt Serra and Ray Longo's camp. Those guys bring it. They're constantly brawling. Ray's an old friend of mine, and Matt. What can you say? Everyone loves Matt the Terra Serra. So who are you picking?
Latifi's got power. I mean, he's like a fire hydrant. He can crack, but I think Vellante is going to take him out. I think he'll knock him out.
Yeah, Vellante, I'm going to pick him as well. He did such a good job against Corey Anderson. Corey landed the most strikes, and I think Vellante knocked out the most teeth ever in a UFC fight. So he's got the skills of a hockey player. He knows how to remove those feet. That being said, who are you picking, Coach?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Vellante also. He's a tough, hard-hitting guy. So.
Listen, that East Coast brawling?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Paisans on the East Coast know how to throw down. So that's going to be an interesting one. On to our other title fight, our semi-co-main event. Great pay-per-view. They're giving us two pay-per-view title fights. Thanks UFC. It's going to be awesome. Got Misha Tate versus the now champion Holly Holm. Which way are you going on that?
I'm going to go with Holmes. She's really good. I like her kickboxing, her head kicks, her movement's really good. She's not going to stay there to get hit, get taken down.
Definitely, I agree with you. What do you think, Coach? What do you call him?
I believe Misha Tate will be the bridesmaid, not the bride again.
Oh,
She's
man.
going to be...
You're a heartbreaker, life changer, Coach.
I think she'll be the 27 dresses. And,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Wow, you really put that in female terms. That's what, by having such a beautiful girlfriend for so many years. But, yeah. I gotta say, I think Misha Tate is one hell of a fighter. She's just, like you said, she gets so close. Does she have a chance to win? For sure. I think she's gonna come out like a bat out of hell, rated Holly Holm. Thing is, what's special about Joanna and Holly Holm, what they have going for the women's fighting is their vast experience of fist fighting. Well, I mean, fist fighting is Holly's got 60-some boxing matches, Joanna 50, 60-some Muay Thai and kickboxing matches. So their calm under pressure is a little bit different than a lot of the other women in this emerging sport. That's why I noticed the women who are a little bit more calm in the fire getting hit at and are used to that do well. So I am picking the person I picked. I picked Holly Holm to beat Ronda Rousey, and again, I'm picking Holly Holm. I got to tell you a very cool story. Our former teammate, she's moved on in life, not training anymore. She fought Holly Holm in a amateur tournament, and I'd love to say our homegirl did good against her, but she ran through her like her ass was grass in the lawnmower. That being said, Holly Holm is an incredibly great, nice person. Her sportsmanship and the person she is was wonderful. So she's a breath of fresh air, and with some of the other athletes in our sport, she's the major hero out there. She has a great persona, and a big fan of her. That being said, main event time. I put out a funny little meme with the Irish Clover and the cannabis leaf. We've got Ireland versus Stockton. So who are you picking? Is it Diaz or is it McGregor?
If Diaz was smart, he'd take him down and try to submit him. I don't know if he will, though. I think he's going to stand and try to bang with him, so I'm going to go with McGregor.
Okay, so you and many other people on this planet. Coach?
I'm going with the upset.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Diaz. I think he's going to stay out there and stock him, slap him, and he's going to make him frustrated, and he's going to come in and he's going to act. Might not be a traditional wrestler, but if he does get him on the ground, Diaz won't last more than a minute or two.
Well, I am going to go with the upset too. I did an interview on Yahoo Sports with Kevin Iole. Here's the thing. Conor McGregor has a unique style himself. If you look at his success, it's been based on beating very orthodox fighters. Aldo, who has that Dutch-Brazilian kickboxing style. Chad Mendes, who had a somewhat textbook striking style. Max Holloway, who is the kind of more unique fighter. That's the only guy I went the distance with. You notice that? Sieber, who has a pretty orthodox style. And I'll keep going. All these guys with orthodox styles it was very easy for Connor to beat him. Thing is, Diaz and Orthodox is not in the same universe. Those guys they're listening to some hit music that no one else is hearing, and they move to the beat of their own drum, and that's why we love them. I got to tell you, the thing is, you know, a lot of guys come in impetuous, hard at Connor, and that plays into his game. Thing is, a guy like Nate, he's going to be out there. The other thing too, maybe one thing I'm going to predict too is I think Nate is, a lot of people don't realize Nate's right-handed. He's been boxing a lot of left. He might come out right-handed just to confuse McGregor and keep switching stances, which I think would be a great test. The other thing is, which we all love about the Diaz is, like my dad told me, don't punch with a puncher, don't kick with a kicker. If Connor wants to punch with this guy, well, it's Stockton 209 time. That's what the Diaz's want. You know, let's look at it. You know, Nate, if he sits there and strikes with you, he has a very, very great chance of winning that fight. Because here's the thing, if he can take Connor's punch and he starts giving it back, we're going to see how deep the water is with Conor McGregor's skill set.
Diaz isn't a traditional striker, and his speed isn't like flash speed, but I think he has some of the best timing that out there. He doesn't look fast, but his hands are out there.
Economy of motion.
Yeah, he doesn't. Hence the Stockton slap.
That being said, and I really like their coach, Coach Perez. He's a really good coach. I like his style, and he's always real professional. That being said, you know, Conor McGregor's something else, but again, styles make fight. I gotta say, I did a prediction on Sirius XM Radio MMA station, and I called the Bisping upset. So hopefully I keep my upset streak going. I called the Rousey upset. So again, thanks everyone. Make sure you support Corey Anderson, Combat Corner athlete. As well, speaking of Combat Corner athletes, our teammate, former UFC fighter, Chico the King Camus, he's fighting Friday night on RFA Access TV. Make sure you tune in. I'll be up there in the corner with our coach Daniel Vanderlei and our other brother from another mother, surging, rising featherweight from Bellator, Emmanuel El Matador Sanchez, or as we call him, Team Overtime. He is renegotiating with Bellator right now. If you missed his fight, he fought awesome at Bellator 149. He just threw down. He fought anywhere, everywhere, and always. It was awesome. He was striking on his feet, striking on the way down to the mat, striking getting up, striking on the mat. He was kicking butt, taking names, and stealing girlfriends. That's the way we do it at Roufus Sport. We got a lot of exciting fights coming up. The Pettis brothers, they're throwing down on UFC 197, so it's going to be a very exciting year, and we're very positive and pumped about what's happening here at Roufus Sport right now. Thanks everyone, and as well I want to thank McBride Mats, the best in mats. We'll be outfitting our academy real soon with McBride. You guys are going to be so impressed when we show you that product. As always, on it, Iowa Bison, Toyo Tires, and again, Combat Corner. You guys are awesome. Till then, take care. And again, I want to thank one more person, Reebok as well. They've been outfitting us with all the best training gear, shoes, our whole team, and we're very appreciative. Till then, have fun getting it done. See you soon.